Welcome to Let's Talk About Art. My name is Madison Gruber, and I'm here with Christy Lee.
It's Christy.
Christy, Christy, I stand
Yes,
corrected.
yes, thank you.
Today we will be discussing the piece Dream Caused by the Flight of a Bee Around a Pumpkin, a Second Before Awakening, by Salvador Dali. Expressionism is defined as art in which the form arises not directly from observed reality, but from subjective reactions to reality. Why would you consider Christy, Dream Caused by the Flight of a Bee Around a Pomegranate, a Second Before Awakening, an expressionistic work of art?
That is a great question, Madison. Do you care if I change into my normal glasses so I can see?
Please do.
Okay, it was a little
Please
bright
do.
in here. Well, as you can see in the art, it's not like an image that would happen in real life or something like that. Like you wouldn't, you're not going to see this image like while you're walking down the street or something. But it's definitely something that the artist would interpret as a feeling or something that someone could imagine. So it's more fantasy, but I mean, it's definitely valid because, it was drawn. But the emotions depicted by the image are very real and definitely play on human nature, I would say.
So you would say it sparks more of an emotional connection to the piece rather than just visual representation?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a very emotional, it's very busy, but there's a lot of emotion that's coming from the painting. And it's not telling a real story, but it's telling a real feeling.
Correct. Now, what feeling does this work give you initially, the initial reaction?
Well, as I was searching for paintings and I came across this beautiful one, the very first feeling I got initially was just a feeling of, it was just unsettling.
Wow.
It was just so much tension, and like as the title suggests, it's very dreamlike, and you would think like at first some aspects of it are very calming and relaxing, but when all combined, there's just like this tension and it's just uneasy, like the surrealist part of all the objects. It was just, I was almost uncomfortable.
So it's really just more of a wow piece.
It really is.
Kind of unsettling.
Yeah, it is because it gives like this false sense. I mean, if you notice in the painting, like everything's like floating above air, like nothing's completely touching another thing. Mm-hmm. But there's this just, and so like that in its sense is peaceful, but there's this tension because everything, it's like something's about to happen. As you see, like this bayonet is about to pierce this woman straight in her arm, on the underside of her bicep. And it's just unsettling because there's just moments away from an awful occurrence happening, but yet, she's still asleep and calm.
Right. So let's walk through this piece a little bit.
Absolutely.
Help explain exactly what's going on here, the sequential order of how this piece is portrayed.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I wouldn't consider it a narrative. It's much more expressionistic than that, but there definitely is a story here. As the title explains, this woman is dreaming. She's clearly asleep. But as you see going on around her, there's this pomegranate that is spewing a goldfish, which is spewing a tiger, spewing another tiger, which from that tiger is spewing a bayonet about to pierce this woman. And all the other places, you see like a small image of a pomegranate with a bee around it. And also there's a cliff. I'm not sure how the cliff is relevant to maybe the rest of the work. I can't quite figure out the meaning behind that, but there is an elephant with flamingo legs in the background. And it's a dream. Crazy things happen in your dreams. Everybody has dreams, and a lot of people don't maybe acknowledge how connected their dreams are to what's happening outside of their subconscious. But it's definitely valid for someone to dream that.
Right, go back. I like the word subconscious.
Okay.
That you used.
Yeah.
Subconsciously
dreaming.
How express that a little more. How does your subconscious, from Gala, who's painted here, Dali's
wife, Salvador Dali.
How is her subconscious being erupted from the piercing bayonet?
That's a great question. Well, if you think about it, so for an example, somebody who is maybe falling out of their bed might dream that they're falling off of a cliff. but really they're just rolling a few feet from their bed onto the
Exactly.
floor. So, for example, if you think of it in terms like that, the feeling that's coming from this or the thoughts that are coming, that it gives me as a viewer, is that perhaps, this woman who's asleep is about to be stung by a bee, and so instantly her dream from a calm dream with maybe an elephant with flamingo legs, she instantly dreams this pomegranate with a fish spewing, a tiger spewing, another tiger with a bayonet is about to stab her. That's not about to happen in real life, but in her dream, she's about to be awakened by a pinching of a sting of a bumblebee.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like that.
Right. How would you say Dali's use of color in the scene stirs your emotion? We've been talking about the objects of the picture. How would you feel more about the color usage?
The color, well, if you look apart from just the tiger and the pomegranate, if you look at like the sky and the water and all the nature aspects of it, I mean, it's very calm, very
Right.
dreamlike, and it's just peaceful. And then it's disrupted by
I
this
agree.
vivid color of that, and so that's where the unsettling aspect is.
I'm gonna leave you with this question, Chris Day.
Yes.
Due to Dali's work here, how would you say it's quintessential to the 40s era it was painted in?
It's wild,
Pure.
pure. And
Pure
that's all I have
seduction.
to say.
That's all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.